Southwest England, sleepy market town, still largely white Middle England type population, Women's Institute, St John's Ambulance, local farmers market, you get the picture. Walked into a local butcher's to buy some locally sourced meat, and while being served, casually joked to him that I hoped his lamb wasn't halal. 20 minutes later he finished his quiet yet firm diatribe against Islam and what it's doing to our once proud nation, and I took away two things. Firstly, a selection of meat products, and secondly, a knot in my stomach about the covert and ever-spreading influence of Islam on our everyday lives. This is what he told me. He's been using the same local slaughterhouse for years, and he paid a visit recently, and he was chatting to the slaughterhouse owner, and he noticed a bloke with a long beard reciting something in a foreign language. When he asked what it was all about, the slaughterhouse owner told him that it was something that they'd been doing for a while now to make the meat acceptable to some of their customers. It wasn't anything important, and it was just the new way that things were being done now. Well, Mr. Butcher saw quite quickly what the game was, and immediately cancelled his contract with that slaughterhouse and went to another local slaughterhouse, which had reassured him that cutting open the throats of their animals and paying some clown to recite a meaningless Arabic phrase each time was not something that they would consider doing, whether or not it was requested by some of their customers. It struck me that non-halal meat will soon become a niche market in the UK. I'll say that again. It struck me that non-halal meat will soon become a niche market in the UK. That there will be very few local suppliers who put on stickers guaranteeing non-halal, and that they'll have to charge higher prices for non-halal because of the nature of supply and demand in the country. People are more bothered by the ownership of our forests and woods than by the insidious infection of our nation's food with 7th century religious bullshit. And can it be argued that halal meat is only the thin end of the wedge? Well, it's not even thin anymore. The thin end has actually slipped up our communal subconscious long ago. Already over 70% of New Zealand lamb imported into the UK is halal. Waitrose, Marks and Spencer, Tesco, Sainsbury's, the Co-op, Domino's, Pizza Hut, KFC, Nando's, Subway, on and on and on. They're all using halal meat and they're not telling the customers. Try to get a kebab or a pizza or a burger or a sandwich from a supplier who will guarantee that there is no halal meat in it. My local butcher told me that he thought there were 3 problems with this halal stuff. Firstly, it was barbarian and cruel to the animal. Secondly, it was wrong that a religion should dictate what happens to ordinary people's food in our country. And thirdly, and perhaps most worryingly, that it was unconscionable that the government forces food producers to put so much information onto the packaging, but fails to insist that the words halal or non-halal are put on it to give a buyer a choice in this matter. And why is it happening? Of course it's politics and money, but unlike the recent debacle about the selling off of our nation's woods and forests, this selling off of our national identity and consumers' freedom of choice is not discussed in the open. And why not? Because it would be Islamophobic and racist to do so. This is the halal elephant in the room. And my question to you is this: if you don't check personally before buying your meat whether or not it's halal, then who do you think's going to bother to tell you? I guess we could all become vegetarians or just eat no meat except pork. But then again, why not go the whole hog and just convert to Islam? What a joke, eh? You still have a choice in your religious affiliation. But guess what? Your grandchildren probably won't, if things continue as they are. I think bacon and eggs are in order. Free range, of course.